Right, so if you missed class on Monday, we drew a class today. We're working on forms. We are drawing a couple of random things that were suggested by the class, and then we're going to put them together in a composition. We're going to start off with your paper vertically in front of you. Okay, so your paper should be vertically in front of you. And then right in the middle, we're going to draw a rectangular prism. So go ahead and start off with a rectangle. We're going to turn this rectangular prism into a stove. So go ahead and draw yourself a rectangle. Once you've got your rectangle, and I'm going to draw this pretty quick, so you're going to just have to stop the video as you go. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add the diagonal line here so that we can get the third dimension. So that's going to angle up, and this is also going to angle up, and then this back line here is going to all angle up. All of these lines go in the same direction. You've got that one going this way, that one going this way. They're all parallel to each other, and this one going this way. So they should all be parallel to each other. And then what we're going to do is we're going to connect the back line the way that this is horizontal, straight across. This is straight across. This is also going to be straight across. Now before we connect the side, we're going to add another part. So rectangular prism, the stove will go up right here. We'll go up on the side. And we're also going to connect this the same way. So these should be another parallel line going across. All of these should be parallel to each other. They are not going to touch. Okay. Now these should be connected here. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a diagonal line just like we did here. We're going to add it on this corner and this corner. So those go in the same direction as these that are diagonal. These go in the same direction, and then we'll go ahead and connect these with a parallel line. Go straight across, and then this line is going to go straight down. So this should be a vertical line going straight down, and I may have not made that line long enough, and that's okay. As I get here, I should go ahead and just connect these, and these should connect that way. And now we've got what could be our stove. Okay, so for the front, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add a big door. So you're going to go ahead and make a line that's parallel to the bottom and try to space it out the same on both sides. So it's going to look like this. And then at the top, it'll be like a bigger gap. So this should be parallel to that. These should be parallel to the edges, and then it will go straight across right here. Okay, and then we'll add a handle. So the handle, you're going to make a rectangle, so a long rectangle right about here. And then you're going to make a little diagonal line that goes like this. Two of them, actually three. You'll put another one over here. All of those go in the same direction. And then you'll connect this here. And this one will just go straight down and you won't be able to see the inside. Alright, so that's the main part of the stove. And then what we did was, once we had this, we waited and we went ahead and we drew another object. So we are drawing a stove, a trash can, a ball of yarn, and a cone. We're using all the geometric forms to turn into actual objects. So the next thing we're going to do over here is we're going to draw our trash can. So we're going to draw a trash can. It's going to be a little higher, then it's kind of flowing up here. So we'll go ahead and make an ellipse, which is like a laying down sphere, a flat circle. Sorry, a flat circle. On the edge, on the ends, go ahead and bring down a vertical line on both ends. These are parallel to each other. And I'm going to have that a little bit about the height of, it's going to come over about right around here. So you're kind of trying to draw this the best you can on your paper the way I'm doing them on my paper, like in the same areas. And then you're going to go ahead and connect this like this, but our drawings are going to be similar but different. We're basically drawing forms. So that cylinder is going to be turned into a trash can, so let's go ahead and add a little handle to that. Let me go ahead and zoom into it, what we're doing here. So for the handle, I'm going to go ahead and throw in a little wide open U that looks like that. And then you'll go ahead and make another one that's parallel to it. It just kind of goes around as well. So it looks something like this. Okay, so that's going to be our trash can. Alright, so then the next thing we're going to do is have a ball of yarn. So I'm going to go ahead and put the ball of yarn on this side. So we're going to start off by drawing a circle, and we're going to turn that circle into a sphere eventually. So we're not touching the edges, and we're trying to get a circle drawn in here as best as we can. Okay, so that circle we'll have to shade up and add some lines in there and make it look like a ball of yarn. We can get that done a little bit later. And then we're going to come over here to this side and we're going to add a cone. Okay, so again we're going to go ahead and add an ellipse. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and bring in two diagonal lines toward each other to get a cone. And we'll work those details a little bit later. What we did was we started the details of the stove and then the trash can. So let's go to that. So now, again, I told you we're drawing a bunch of random things, and then we're going to make this composition all come together. Okay, so if the light is coming from this side, okay, from the top corner, the top left corner, then this side in the front and this side are going to be the darker side. So let's go ahead and shade this up with like a 4 value from our value bar. If you remember our value bar, we went kind of dark on the 4, is right past the halfway mark. And then we'll do this whole front side the same as this. So same darkness. We're going to go ahead and shade the front of this stove. Again, it's a very random drawing. A lot of times you guys are drawing things and you have all these little different drawings everywhere, but you putting them together is not really falling into place. So we're going to have a bunch of random drawings and we're going to turn it into a piece of artwork, okay, where it all comes together and it can stand as an actual piece. Okay, so this is dark there. What I'll go ahead and do, since my lines went in different directions, I'm going to go ahead and blend here, soften up this value here, and I'm going to blend here to soften up these lines so that I don't have, those lines are not so noticeable going in different directions over here. And if you go outside of your form, go ahead and erase. You don't want to have like floating shadows around your objects. All right. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to shade this side. This is going to be a little lighter than that side, so we don't want to press so hard. We want a really light value. And we can go ahead and blend that as well, soften it up a little bit. And since the top part gets the most light, I'm not going to even add any more value. I'm just going to use what's on the lines and just kind of blend back and forth in here. And that should be like a really light gray in there. So that should get it pretty good. Then I'm just going to clean up my edges. And then we can work some details in here. So if we look at the handle is going to be a little bit darker. So I'm going to go ahead and shade in this part of the handle with my pencil just a little bit. And on this edge, just a little. And then I'm going to make a dark shadow underneath this part right here. All of this part is going to have a nice dark shadow until I get to this corner here. So it'll look like this. And then in here, I'm going to go ahead and shade this little corner up. And that should bring in that there. It looks a little awkward with the light, but it'll look like that. And then we're going to add the burners. So your burners are going to be also ellipses, like a flat circle. So we're going to go like this. You got to add a second one. They should be the same distance away from the side unless one's smaller than the other. And then some on the other side. And then what you can do, those should be flat, okay? What you can do is inside those circles, you can make like a little swirl. So what I mean by that is you have this, and then inside we're just going to make a line that goes like that. It's just to kind of give it detail. And it's going to be hard to see in here because it's so small, but we're going to just do our very best. So just go in there, make a little swirl, make a little swirl. All right. That's going to be our little details in there. We can even kind of do a little rubbing in there. Then we'll make our buttons for our knobs. And we'll just make a nice thick line around these circles right here. We'll get about 2 of them on each side. I'm going to try to make them about the same size. And then we can shade them in a little bit. You can even make a dark line through them if you want. Kind of show something like that. Show the knobs. And then you're going to erase a little triangle in here. It's kind of lighten up a little, I mean not triangle, rectangle. That'll be like where the time is and how much temperature you got and whatnot. And then we'll add a little for the glass door. Simple little details. We'll go ahead and move on over to the trash can. The trash can we're going to shade like a cylinder, so we're going to come up from here. Again, you just go ahead and get some curved lines off of this. Lay your pencil down, get some curved lines off of here. I'm going to use 2 techniques. So once I get these lines in here, I'm going to go ahead and shade from dark to light. So I'm going to lighten up this edge real quick because I want this to be light. You pause this video as you need to, and we're going to shade from dark to light. So this is going to be dark side. You can go ahead and go over the handle and everything. And as you start getting closer to the middle, press a little bit less, and then a little less, and then just let it go really light to the end. I'm going to go ahead and erase everything that's outside of this circle, and I'm going to blend from the dark side to the light side. Alright, so again, anything that's outside of your form, you want to definitely go ahead and go in there and erase. So you don't want all this marking that's outside. We'll clean that up. Again, I know I'm going a little fast. You're going to have to. Then you'll go ahead underneath this. You're going to go ahead and darken up this handle here. And darken it in here. And then we'll go ahead and add the line on the top. This line right here does not touch the top. You want to leave a little bit. You're going to make like a C. This will touch the bottom. So you've got like a C right in here. And then you just make some dark lines that go across. Still keeping that C shape on this end. And then go ahead and smudge this in here. And then when you're done, last thing we're going to do are erase some lines.